Chosen one, you have arrived here for a reason. There's something extraordinary about your presence, an energy that doesn't need to be explained because it speaks for itself. Your spiritual strength isn't something you announce to the world. It's something you embody, a quiet force that radiates from within. When others unknowingly catch a glimpse of your spiritual energy, they feel it before they can understand it. It's not a forceful presence, but a subtle, magnetic one. People may not know why they feel drawn to you, why their hearts suddenly feel lighter in your company, or why a sense of calm washes over them when you enter the room. It's your spiritual energy, unseen yet undeniable, working silently in the background, shifting the atmosphere around you. Your spiritual presence is felt in ways that go beyond words or actions. You don't need to exert force or struggle to have an impact. Your energy alone is enough to shift entire environments, moving through spaces and hearts in ways that no physical action could ever achieve. It's the silent power you carry, an embodiment of divine energy that speaks louder than anything you could say. Your presence alone is a testament to the depth of your connection with the divine. Chosen one, there's a quiet power within you that others cannot help but notice. Your presence is like a mirror to those around you, reflecting not just who they are, but who they pretend to be. When people encounter you, something profound happens, something they cannot control. Their carefully constructed facades begin to crumble. The masks they've worn for years to protect themselves from the world and to uphold an image of who they believe they should be no longer hold up in the face of your authenticity. You carry with you an energy so pure and real that it leaves no room for pretense. The person they once believed themselves to be, the image they've meticulously crafted, is stripped away, revealing the vulnerability they've spent so long hiding.
It is not that you are intentionally exposing them. It is simply the effect your presence has on them. Your authenticity, the depth of your being, forces them to confront the truth within themselves that they have long buried. Where they once walked with an air of confidence, they now find themselves unsure, their carefully constructed personas becoming transparent under the weight of your truth. They can no longer hide behind the walls they've built, and it leaves them feeling exposed. The illusion of strength they've tried to project is shattered, and they are left to face their true selves, often in a way they weren't prepared for. This is the power of your presence. It forces them to confront their own weaknesses, their own insecurities, and their own fears. You do not demand this of them. It happens naturally, effortlessly, because your light is too bright to be ignored. For many, the masks they wear have been a lifeline, a shield from the world's judgment, and a way to protect themselves from vulnerability. They've spent years, sometimes even decades, building these identities around false securities. The roles they play, whether as a strong leader, a successful business person, or someone who is always in control, are meant to keep them safe from facing the deeper truths they fear. They've learned to wear their masks so well that even they sometimes forget they are wearing them. But your presence, chosen one, shatters those illusions. Where they once felt secure in their false identities, your authentic strength forces them to reckon with the inner fragility they've worked so hard to conceal. When they are near you, they can no longer hide behind the roles they've constructed. The truth of their vulnerability and imperfection is exposed by the very light you carry. It is a truth they would rather avoid, a truth that causes discomfort, because it forces them to question everything they thought they knew about themselves. Their identities, built around external validation, success, or the approval of others, now seem flimsy and inconsequential in the face of your authenticity. They cannot help but feel small, their carefully curated sense of self starting to unravel. The inner strength they thought they had pales in comparison to the quiet, unshakable power that radiates from you. Your presence is a reminder of what they have been avoiding, the truth of their own humanity, their own flaws, and their own need for growth. This is not something you do intentionally, chosen one. It is simply the result of your energy, your authenticity, and the light you bring into every room you enter. Where they once tried to maintain a sense of control, they now find themselves confronted by their own doubts, fears, and weaknesses. It is as though your presence calls out the truth in them, whether they are ready to face it or not. It's important to understand, Chosen One, that their reaction to you is not an attack against who you are or what you represent. It is not about fighting you. It is about resisting the truth that your presence reveals about them. When they encounter you, it's as though a light is shining directly on the parts of themselves they have long tried to hide. They feel vulnerable because, in that moment, they can no longer pretend to be who they have been trying to be. They can no longer uphold the illusions that have protected them from facing their own inner fragility. The walls they've spent years building, the defenses they've erected to protect themselves from the world's judgment, are no longer effective. Your light exposes the cracks, the insecurities, and the doubts that they've kept hidden from others and from themselves. And this is where their resistance begins. It's not resistance against you. It's resistance against the truth that you bring into their lives. The light you shine forces them to confront the parts of themselves they would rather leave in the shadows. They may react defensively, their ego fighting to maintain the mask they've worn for so long. They may become defensive, or they may try to hide from the truth by avoiding you. But deep down, they know that the discomfort they feel when they are around you is not caused by anything you've done. It's caused by the powerful truth you bring into their lives. They cannot escape it because your light is relentless. It does not judge. It simply illuminates the areas of their lives that need healing, growth, and transformation. What they don't realize is that your presence is an invitation for them to heal, to face their fears, and to shed the illusions they've held on to. Your authenticity is not an attack, it is a gift. You are offering them the opportunity to embrace their true selves, to step into the light and release the false personas that have been keeping them small. But they must first confront the truth of their vulnerability, and that can be a painful process. Your light does not make them feel bad about who they are. Rather, it calls them to step into their highest potential, to embrace the truth of their divine nature. It is a reminder that, just as you have transcended your own limitations and fears, they too have the power to do the same. But for this to happen, they must first be willing to face the parts of themselves they have avoided for so long. Chosen One, your energy is not just a presence, it is a catalyst for transformation. Your very existence calls those around you to evolve, to break free from the illusions that have held them back, and to step into their own power. You do not force them to change. Instead, you simply exist as a living example of what is possible when one lives authentically and in alignment with divine truth. The more you shine your light, the more those around you will be forced to confront their own inner darkness and illusions. But this is not something to fear. It is something to embrace. For in the revealing of their vulnerabilities, they will find the strength to break free from the masks they've worn for so long. And in doing so, they will find their own light, their own authenticity, and their own path to transformation. So, Chosen One, as you continue to walk this path, remember that your presence is not just a blessing for yourself, it is a blessing for everyone around you. You are not here to make others uncomfortable. You are here to show them the truth, to invite them into their own healing, and to help them become the fullest versions of themselves. Your light is the key to their transformation, and though they may resist it at first, they will one day come to recognize that the truth you reveal is the very thing they've been longing for all along. Chosen One, there is a unique strength that radiates from you, a power that others, those who operate from ego or lower vibrational energies, cannot help but notice. They see it the moment they encounter you. You cannot be controlled by the usual methods they use to gain power over others. Where others might be swayed by flattery, guilt, or fear, you stand as a rock, unmoved and undeterred by their tactics. Your power lies not in the strategies of the world, but in something far greater, your deep, divine connection that they cannot touch, manipulate, or replicate. From the moment they interact with you, they sense that you are different. There's a quiet strength about you that cannot be swayed by the typical forms of control they use to get what they want. For many, this is unsettling. They've become accustomed to the power of persuasion, using charm to win favor,
guilt to provoke compliance, or fear to manipulate others into submission. But with you, Chosen One, they find no such leverage. Your authenticity and connection to something far beyond the physical realm make you impervious to their influence.
They sense immediately that their usual methods will not work on you, and that realization alone is enough to shake them. What they fail to understand, though, is that this power does not come from your own ego or will. It comes from a divine source, one that is anchored in the very essence of your being. Your power is not yours to control. It is simply an expression of the divine truth that flows through you. They can try to manipulate the people around them, twist situations to their advantage, and use fear to dominate others, but they will find no such success with you. You are a living reminder of a power that operates outside the confines of worldly control. For those who rely on manipulation, your presence is a challenge, a direct threat to their methods. They have learned over the years to use flattery to draw people in, to guilt-trip them into compliance, and to instill fear in others to bend them to their will. These tactics have worked on others in the past, often leaving them in a place of submission and compliance. However, when they try these methods on you, Chosen One, they are met with an impenetrable force. Flattery falls on deaf ears, guilt has no hold, and fear evaporates before it can even take root in your heart. They may try to flatter you, shower you with compliments, and attempt to win your favor through words, but these gestures have no power over you. You see through their attempts to gain influence and are not swayed by empty praise or superficial admiration. Their words, which they've used to control others, fall flat because you know that true value is not measured by the opinions or approval of others. You are grounded in the truth of your own worth, and no external validation is needed to remind you of it. When they attempt to use guilt, trying to make you feel responsible for their emotions, or manipulate you into feeling obligated to meet their needs, you simply cannot be moved. You recognize guilt for what it is, a tool of control, and you refuse to let it have any dominion over you. You understand that true compassion and love do not come from fulfilling the demands of others, but from freely choosing to act from a place of divine truth. Their guilt has no hold on your heart, because it is not the truth you live by. Fear, too, is a tool they wield with ease on others, but when it is directed at you, it falters. The fear they attempt to plant in you, whether through threats, intimidation, or manipulation, has no effect because you are rooted in divine courage. You have transcended the fears that once held you back, and their attempts to use fear against you are impotent. You no longer live in fear of the unknown, for you walk confidently in the light of divine truth, knowing that you are divinely protected, guided, and supported. Their threats and attempts to destabilize you simply cannot touch the core of who you are. Your strength, Chosen One, does not come from the need to control others or manipulate situations. It comes from an internal source, an unshakable connection to the divine that provides you with all the stability and power you need. This is the force they cannot touch, and this is what frustrates them, your ability to stand firm and unyielding in the face of their manipulations. As they realize that their usual tactics no longer work on you, frustration begins to build within them. The more they try to push and pull, to manipulate and control, the more they find themselves blocked by your quiet strength. They cannot understand why you don't respond to their games the way others do. They may try harder, using different methods, but the more they push, the more they sense their own powerlessness. You are like a mirror to their attempts to control, reflecting back to them the futility of their actions. It frustrates them to no end that they cannot bend you to their will. They have always prided themselves on their ability to control situations, to bend people to their desires, and to get what they want through manipulation. But with you, they find themselves confronted with an immovable force, a strength that doesn't bend, break, or yield. No matter how much they try to coerce, charm, or threaten, you remain calm, grounded, and unshaken. Your refusal to be manipulated exposes their own weakness, and that is a realization they are not ready to face. This frustration eventually gives way to confusion. They can't understand why their usual methods aren't working. They may even feel as though they are losing their grip on the situation, something they are not accustomed to. As they come to terms with their inability to control you, a sense of defeat begins to creep in. They feel powerless because they are no longer the ones in control. You have turned the tables, and their tactics, which once seemed so effective, are now utterly useless in the face of your divine strength. Their defeat is not about a battle between you and them. It is a recognition of the fact that their attempt to control has failed because they cannot manipulate the divine light you carry. Your light, your authenticity, and your connection to something greater than yourself make you impervious to their manipulation. You do not need to fight them. Your very presence is a reminder that true power comes not from control, but from surrendering to a higher force, one that cannot be touched by earthly tactics. Chosen one, you are living proof that true strength is not about dominating others or using force to get what you want. Your power comes from within, from your connection to the divine, and it cannot be manipulated or controlled by anyone. Those who try to exert control over you will find themselves frustrated, confused, and ultimately powerless, because the strength you embody cannot be touched by their methods. You are standing in your own divine power, and nothing in this world can break your connection to the truth that lies within you. You are no longer at the mercy of others' attempts to manipulate or control. You are free, and that freedom is your greatest power. Chosen one, there is a quiet yet undeniable power that radiates from you, and it is not always met with welcome. When you enter a room, when you step into a space filled with people, there is a palpable shift in the energy. It's as if your presence alone shines a light so bright that it forces the hidden shadows in others to come to the surface. In a way, you unknowingly awaken the insecurities, envy, and malice that have been buried deep within the hearts of those around you. These emotions, these hidden parts of themselves, no longer remain concealed in the darkness because your light is too potent to ignore. Where others may keep their feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, or anger hidden, your authenticity exposes them without you even needing to say a word. It's not that you are intentionally stirring up conflict, it's simply the effect of your energy. Your very being forces others to confront the parts of themselves they've spent years trying to bury. It's as if your presence is a mirror, reflecting back to them the aspects of their personality they've long avoided. These shadows, which they thought they had concealed so well, begin to surface, stirred by the light of your energy. What's truly powerful, Chosen One, is that your light doesn't shy away from these shadows. Instead, it illuminates them. It doesn't judge them, but it forces those who encounter you to reckon with the darker parts of themselves they've been trying to suppress. You make it impossible for them to continue hiding behind their facades, behind the personas they've carefully crafted. You've stepped into a space where their true selves, fears, insecurities, and all, cannot stay hidden for much longer. For some, the shadows they carry are not just weaknesses. They are buried truths they have worked tirelessly to conceal from the world, and even from themselves. In their pursuit of acceptance, approval, and validation, they have created layers upon layers of defense mechanisms, carefully crafting an identity that projects strength, success, and confidence. But beneath these layers lie unresolved emotions, insecurities, and jealousies that they have learned to suppress over time. Your clarity, Chosen One, is the catalyst that forces these hidden emotions to emerge. You are not only aware of your own truths, but your presence awakens the truths that others have long kept hidden. It is a gift, though it may not always feel like one to them. Your authenticity allows them to see themselves as they truly are, not as they have portrayed themselves. And this is often uncomfortable. People like to think of themselves as strong, as good, or as capable. But when confronted with the raw, unfiltered reality of their own inner darkness, it shakes them to their core. This confrontation is difficult for them. They may react with defensiveness or denial, trying to push away the uncomfortable feelings that your light has stirred up. They may attempt to project their insecurities onto you, blaming you for making them feel exposed. But the truth is, it is not you who is making them uncomfortable. It is the very truths that they've been hiding from themselves that are being revealed. Your presence, without you even trying, is a call to examine the parts of themselves they would rather not face. It's almost as if you've given them an opportunity to heal, but many may not yet understand the gift you have given them. They see it as an invasion of their peace when, in reality, you are offering them the chance to face their shadows, acknowledge them, and ultimately release the burden they carry. As their shadows rise to the surface, Chosen One, you will often find that the people around you feel unsettled. What was once hidden in the deep recesses of their hearts now has nowhere to hide. The emotions they've tried to suppress, whether it's envy of your light, insecurity about their own worth, or malice they've been harboring, become evident. The discomfort they feel is a direct result of the exposure of these suppressed feelings, and it can often lead to confusion, frustration, and even hostility. This exposure can feel uncomfortable, even painful for them. No one likes to face the parts of themselves they've worked so hard to suppress. The insecurities they've buried under layers of defense are now brought into the open, forcing them to look at themselves honestly. And though this process may be painful for them, it is also necessary. Because in order for healing to take place, these shadows must be confronted. You are, in essence, offering them an opportunity to evolve, to acknowledge their darkness, and to integrate it into their light. While they may resist it, the truth is that their reaction is not a direct attack on you. It is simply a reaction to the uncomfortable truths they now have to confront. The shadows they've kept hidden from the world, and perhaps even from themselves, are no longer able to remain in the darkness. They are being forced to face their own limitations, their own weaknesses, and the parts of themselves that have kept them stuck. And this, while unsettling, is the first step toward healing and growth. By forcing them to confront what they've hidden, you are helping them in ways they may not yet understand. You are guiding them toward self-awareness, which is the first step toward transformation. Without this moment of exposure, they would never be able to move beyond the masks they've worn. The light you carry, Chosen One, is a powerful tool for their awakening. It gives them the chance to rise above their own shadows and step into a new way of being, if they are willing to face the discomfort that comes with it. What you may not realize, Chosen One, is that your presence is acting as a mirror, not only for their shadows, but for their potential for transformation. Yes, their insecurities and malice have surfaced, but so too has the possibility for growth. You are not just exposing their weaknesses, you are offering them a chance to face them, heal them, and release them. This process is not easy. It is uncomfortable, painful, and sometimes even overwhelming, but it is necessary. You, by being unapologetically authentic and radiating light, are creating a space for people to step into their true selves. The shadows that are surfacing in their presence are not meant to be a source of guilt or shame. They are an invitation. They are an invitation to heal, to let go of the weight they've carried for so long, and to embrace the fullness of who they are meant to be. It may take time for them to accept this invitation, for the discomfort is real. But as you continue to walk in your light, you will find that their resistance begins to soften. The more they are exposed to your authentic presence, the more they will be forced to reckon with their own truths. And in that reckoning, healing can begin. Chosen One, your light is not just a beacon of hope for yourself, it is a guide for others. By simply being who you are offering the greatest gift of all, the chance for others to confront their darkness, step into their truth, and finally experience the freedom that comes with healing. Keep shining, for your light is not only a reflection of your strength, but a mirror for the transformation of those around you. Chosen One, your very presence stirs something deep within those who encounter you. There is an energy about you, a strength, a clarity, a peace that resonates at a frequency so pure and aligned with divine purpose that it cannot be ignored. When others come into your sphere, something profound happens inside them. It's not that you are actively trying to compare lives or measure worth, but rather it is a natural consequence of the energy you carry. When they meet you, they begin to compare their own pursuits with the power and clarity of your divine calling. Your life, guided by divine purpose, feels like a beacon of authenticity and truth. It's not bound by the fleeting desires or the short-term goals that others chase. When people look at you, they are drawn to the simplicity of your devotion to your mission, the deep sense of peace you carry in fulfilling your purpose, the certainty with which you walk through life. And suddenly, they find themselves questioning their own pursuits, wondering if they too are on the right path. They realize, even without you saying a word, that the goals they've been striving for seem small in comparison to the divine mission you are fulfilling. Their ambitions, once the driving force of their lives, begin to feel hollow. They may have spent years chasing success, fame, or material accomplishments, but in the face of your authentic connection to your purpose, those pursuits seem meaningless. Your very existence brings their own life choices into sharp focus, and what once felt like a worthy pursuit now appears like an empty illusion in comparison to the divine work you are doing. This comparison doesn't come from a place of jealousy, but from a deeper realization, an awakening to the fact that what you have is not just personal success, but a divine calling that carries eternal weight. Your purpose dwarfs their ambitions, and in that realization, they see the fleeting nature of the path they have been walking.
The people around you have been chasing what they thought would bring them happiness, success, validation, wealth, status. But the more they see you in action, the more they begin to feel a quiet disillusionment creeping in. Your purpose is not something you chase. It is something you live with every breath you take. It's as if your very essence is in alignment with the universe, and this energy emanates from you, filling the space around you. They look at their own pursuits and realize that suddenly they feel insignificant, empty, and hollow in comparison to the mission you are so clearly aligned with. The things they've been chasing, career advancements, social recognition, material gain, are no longer enough. They see you, chosen one, and witness how deeply fulfilled you are by answering your divine call. While they've spent their lives focusing on external validation, you have been quietly, steadily, and passionately living a life that is aligned with something greater than yourself. This clarity and authenticity are not just visible, they are felt by those around you, and it's a feeling that cannot be ignored. Your mission has purpose beyond what they could have ever imagined for themselves. What once seemed important to them now feels fleeting, like sand slipping through their fingers. They have spent years building a life based on external validation, striving for achievements that seem worthwhile in the eyes of society, but now seem empty in comparison to the depth of your calling. The hunger for worldly success begins to feel like a distant echo, while your quiet determination and devotion to something greater resonate in ways they cannot ignore. They feel as though they have been running a race that leads nowhere, while you, chosen one, are already walking down a path that is rich with meaning and fulfillment. Their goals, once grand in their eyes, now seem trivial next to the mission you are on.
It is not that they envy your purpose, but they begin to see how much of their own journey has been clouded by the pursuit of temporary satisfaction, while yours is rooted in something eternal and divine. This sudden realization can be a jarring one for those who have spent their lives chasing after things that now seem inconsequential. When they encounter you, they are forced to confront the truth about their own lives, and it's an uncomfortable truth. They begin to see the emptiness in their pursuits, the way they've been seeking validation in places that never really fulfilled them. The recognition that their ambitions are based on external factors, things that are fleeting and material, shakes them to their core. They realize they have been chasing after temporary satisfaction, while you are answering a divine call that gives your life depth, meaning, and eternal purpose. The unsettling part of this realization is that they cannot unsee it. When they compare their lives to yours, they see a stark contrast between the deep connection you have to your higher calling and the shallow pursuits they've been wrapped up in. This realization doesn't just leave them feeling inadequate, it challenges everything they have believed about success, happiness, and fulfillment. They start to question what they've been living for, and whether their pursuit of worldly desires has been worth it. It's not that they are resentful of you, rather, they are facing the uncomfortable truth that they have spent so much of their energy pursuing things that have not provided the lasting fulfillment they crave. In your presence, they feel the weight of their own unfulfilled desires, the gnawing emptiness that comes from building a life on external markers of success rather than a deep connection to divine purpose. This awakening is unsettling, but it is also necessary. It is a call to self-reflection, a reminder that there is more to life than the transient things that society often encourages us to chase. It is a confrontation with their own illusions, a chance for them to step out of the shadow of false success and into the light of their own divine purpose. You are not the one to make them feel small, chosen one. It is their own life choices and the realization of their misalignment with their soul's calling that shakes them. But the beauty of this moment is that, though it is uncomfortable, it is the beginning of a profound opportunity for them to realign with their own truth. The recognition of their own smallness next to your purpose is not a judgment. It is a divine invitation for them to reevaluate their lives and seek a deeper connection to their true calling. As they watch you walk in your purpose with such clarity and peace, they are reminded that they, too, can answer the divine call within their own hearts. Your journey serves as a beacon, lighting the way for those who are ready to step out of the shadows of worldly ambition and into the light of their own divine mission. Chosen one, your presence is not just an example of divine purpose, it is a catalyst for transformation. When others encounter you, they cannot help but see the vastness of your calling and the depth of your alignment with something greater than yourself. Your journey has a way of making them look inward, to question the paths they've chosen, and to realize that there is more to life than the pursuit of temporary satisfaction. In that realization, they are presented with an opportunity, a chance to reconnect with their true purpose, just as you have. Your presence is a reminder that the pursuit of external validation pales in comparison to the fulfillment that comes from walking in divine purpose. And though this realization may be unsettling, it is the first step toward awakening their own soul's calling. Chosen one, there is an undeniable power in your calmness, in the way you move through life with a centered, grounded presence. It is a peace that doesn't shout for attention or demand recognition. It simply is. Your very energy carries a stillness that contrasts sharply with the chaos that surrounds so many. In a world constantly pulled in different directions by stress, fear, and uncertainty, your inner peace stands as a quiet but powerful force. And, as with all forms of true power, it doesn't need to assert itself. It simply exists, and that is enough. But here's the thing, chosen one. Your peace does not always sit well with those who are chaotic and unstable. You have likely noticed that when you enter a room, your presence seems to stir something in others. Your calmness, which flows effortlessly from within, unsettles those who are struggling with internal turmoil. Where you exude a sense of grounded serenity, they find themselves filled with restlessness and unease. It's not that you're intentionally trying to unsettle them. It's simply that your peace reflects their chaos in ways they are not prepared to face. Your calmness is a mirror, showing them the inner disarray they carry within, the anxiety and fear that constantly buzz beneath their surface. And because of this, they cannot help but feel exposed, vulnerable in a way they might not even understand. They see your peace and, in that moment, realize how far removed they are from it. What they don't yet understand is that your peace is not a passive state. It is an active power. The stillness you carry, rooted in your connection to something far greater than yourself, is far stronger than the chaos they are so consumed by. Your energy doesn't bend to their instability.
It transforms the space around you, subtly shifting the atmosphere, forcing them to confront the inner battles they would rather ignore.
When they look at you, chosen one, they can't help but wonder, how do you remain so peaceful? How do you navigate the world with such grace while they are consumed by anxiety, fear, and uncertainty? Your inner peace reflects their restlessness in a way that they cannot deny. It's almost as if your very presence amplifies the discord within them, forcing them to confront the truth they've been avoiding. The truth that despite their frantic efforts, they have yet to find the peace they crave. Where you remain still, they are constantly shifting, looking for answers in all the wrong places. They fill their lives with noise, with distractions, with a never-ending search for something outside of themselves to bring them peace. Yet when they encounter you, their search feels futile. Your serenity stands as a silent reminder that peace cannot be found externally. It must come from within. And this realization stirs up discomfort in them, for it forces them to face their own inability to quiet their minds and hearts. They may wonder, even without realizing it, how you are able to be so present, so grounded, while they are plagued by a never-ending storm of thoughts and emotions. The contrast between your calm and their inner turmoil is striking, and it exposes a truth they are not yet ready to face. Their lack of peace is not because of external circumstances, but because they have not yet learned to find that stillness within. In your presence, their restlessness becomes painfully apparent. It's as though the contrast between your peace and their chaos is too stark to ignore. You embody everything they have been searching for, but have yet to attain, and this exposes the gap between who they are and who they could be. Your peace forces them to confront the inner dissonance they have long avoided, leaving them grappling with the discomfort of seeing their own instability mirrored in you. Challenging as it may be, chosen one, your serenity serves as a gift for those who encounter it, even if they are not yet ready to accept it. Your calmness exposes their chaos, and in doing so, forces them to confront the very things they have been trying to avoid. The discomfort they feel when they are in your presence is not a reflection of anything you are doing to them. It is a reflection of the internal chaos they have yet to resolve within themselves. For some, this exposure is deeply unsettling. They may become defensive, trying to push back against the discomfort your peace has triggered. Some may try to dismiss you, rationalizing that you are too calm or too good to be true, all in an attempt to avoid confronting the deeper issues within themselves. Others may act out in frustration or try to bring you into their turmoil, hoping that if they can drag you into the chaos, they will feel less exposed. But the truth remains, your calmness is not something they can fight. It is the essence of who you are, and it stands as a reminder of the peace they have yet to find. This is a painful realization for those who are caught up in their own internal struggles. They may feel as though their world is crumbling beneath them, all because they can no longer ignore the imbalance in their lives. The moment they encounter your peace, they are forced to reckon with the fact that, while they have been chasing external solutions to their unrest, you have been living in harmony with the divine, cultivating inner stillness, and learning to trust in the peace that comes from within. This discomfort, this resistance to your peaceful presence, is not something you have caused, chosen one. It is simply a natural reaction to the light you carry. The people around you who are struggling with inner chaos may not yet understand that the exposure they feel is actually an opportunity for growth. They are being shown the truth of what lies beneath their surface, the fears and doubts they have tried to suppress for so long. For them, your peace can be an invitation, a call to begin the inner work they've been avoiding. It is an invitation to find the stillness they seek, not through external distractions, but through self-reflection, inner healing, and the quiet surrender to divine peace. But the discomfort they feel is a natural part of the process. For many, the idea of embracing peace and facing their inner shadows is frightening, and so they resist it. They resist the very thing that can bring them the comfort and stillness they crave. Your serenity, chosen one, is a powerful gift that reveals the inner turmoil of those who encounter it. In your calmness, you expose the chaos they carry within, forcing them to confront the parts of themselves they would rather keep hidden. This exposure may cause discomfort, frustration, and resistance, but it is also a call for healing. You do not intentionally seek to unsettle others, but your peaceful presence serves as a mirror for their inner unrest, pushing them to face the truth of their own dissonance. And in that truth lies the potential for transformation. Your calmness is not just a reflection of your own peace. It is a light that guides others toward their own healing. It forces them to reckon with their own shadows, but it also offers them the opportunity to heal and find the stillness they've been searching for. It is a quiet power that works from within, helping others shed the chaos in their lives and embrace the peace that comes from aligning with their divine essence. Keep shining, chosen one, for your light is the catalyst for their awakening. Chosen one, there is a quiet, unshakable strength within you that others cannot always understand. For those who thrive on manipulation, those who believe they can control others through charm, guilt, or intimidation, your presence is a force they cannot easily comprehend or navigate. They may try to manipulate, pull you into their web of deceit, or coerce you into their plans, but no matter how hard they try, your energy resists them. They sense immediately that they cannot sway you with their usual tactics, and this realization frustrates them to no end. You've likely encountered individuals whose sole purpose seems to be controlling situations or people. They are masters of subtle persuasion, playing on others' vulnerabilities, making them feel guilty, or using charm to get what they want. But with you, chosen one, these methods fall flat. Their efforts to draw you into their schemes are met with an invisible wall that they cannot breach. It's as if your very being emanates a frequency that cannot be manipulated. The harder they try to push you, the more they realize that their influence has no effect on you. This is because your energy is grounded in something far more powerful than their efforts, your spiritual alignment. You are rooted in divine truth, and this truth acts as a shield, preventing them from reaching the part of you that they seek to control. Their manipulations, whether subtle or overt, are like waves crashing against a sturdy rock. The more they try to move you, the more they see that their schemes simply cannot break through your inner peace. This leaves them powerless, unable to affect you the way they so easily affect others. Their usual methods, the smooth words, the calculated guilt, the undercurrents of fear, have no power over you. You remain unfazed, unshaken, and unmovable. This is not by accident. It is because you have built a spiritual foundation that nothing in this world can manipulate. The energy they send toward you is not returned with the same force. It is neutralized by the strength of your soul's alignment with the divine. What these manipulators fail to realize, chosen one, is that your spiritual strength creates an invisible barrier that they simply cannot breach. This barrier is not something you consciously put up, nor do you even need to be aware of it in every moment. It is an organic manifestation of your spiritual growth, a boundary formed through your unwavering connection to divine guidance. This shield is an aspect of your spiritual maturity, a reflection of your deep trust in the divine order, your authenticity, and your commitment to living in alignment with your highest purpose. The moment someone attempts to manipulate you, your spiritual boundary instinctively rises. It is a natural defense mechanism, not born from fear, but from the wisdom of knowing that certain energies are not meant for you. The people who try to control, guilt, or entice you into their schemes are met with an unseen wall, one they cannot break, no matter how many tricks they try. They may try to confuse you with their words, to twist your emotions to their advantage, or to create scenarios where you feel obligated to comply. But these attempts simply do not penetrate your peace.
This boundary is a gift from the divine. It is your soul's way of protecting you from energies that would seek to deplete you, confuse you, or steer you off your true path. Your spiritual connection is so deeply rooted that no external force can breach it without your consent. Even when others try to impose their will, they are faced with an energy field that reflects their manipulations back to them, leaving them in confusion and frustration. They may try to push your buttons, provoke your emotions, or pull you into drama, but your energy remains calm, centered, and unaffected. The power they seek to gain by manipulating others cannot touch you. Your spiritual boundaries are not walls built from anger or defensiveness. They are shields of light that protect you from the influences that would seek to lead you astray. This divine protection allows you to move through life with a peaceful mind and an unwavering heart, unaffected by the toxicity that surrounds you. What drives these manipulators mad, Chosen One, is that you don't engage with their games. You don't need to defend yourself because you are not participating in the energy they are trying to create. You simply remain steady in your center, and this drives them to distraction. Their attempts to control or influence you become more desperate, but the more they try, the clearer it becomes to them that they cannot sway you. This lack of engagement on your part is powerful in itself. It's not that you are indifferent or uncaring, it's that you understand the futility of engaging in their games. You recognize that their manipulations are born from fear, insecurity, and ego, and you have no interest in feeding into that. You are not concerned with proving anything to them or explaining your position, because you already know the truth within yourself. This lack of reaction is something they cannot comprehend. They are used to others reacting to their provocations, whether it be through anger, guilt, or submission. But with you, they are met with a quiet, unwavering stillness. You do not need to defend yourself, because the energy they are sending your way is irrelevant to your divine purpose. You have learned not to engage with energies that do not align with your truth. You are no longer interested in proving yourself to those who seek to control or manipulate. Their attempts to involve you in their schemes seem futile, because you are no longer attached to the outcomes they desire. They may try to provoke you, to guilt you, or to create conflict, but you remain unaffected. You don't take their bait. You simply keep walking your path with confidence, knowing that no external force can move you off course. And this, more than anything, drives them mad. They cannot understand why their usual methods don't work on you. They cannot comprehend how you can remain so unaffected, so steady, and so focused on your divine mission while they flounder in their own chaos. This frustration comes from the realization that they are powerless over you. They have spent years perfecting the art of manipulation, using fear and guilt to get what they want, and they expect the same results with everyone they encounter. But with you, they are met with a force they cannot control, and this inability to influence you shakes them to their core. They thought they understood how the world worked, that their power over others was absolute, but with you, their strategies are ineffective. This realization leaves them feeling small, weak, and confused. Chosen One, your power lies not in the need to control, manipulate, or defend yourself. It lies in the divine strength you carry within, in the spiritual boundaries you've set with the guidance of the universe, and in your ability to remain unwavering in your authenticity. Those who attempt to manipulate or control you will find themselves powerless, their tactics ineffective, and their plans thwarted. They cannot reach you, for you are protected by the light of your divine purpose, and no external force can break that. Keep walking in your truth, Chosen One, for your energy is a shield that no one can breach, and your peace is the strength that will carry you through every challenge that comes your way. Chosen One, there are some in the world who thrive on controlling the narratives of others. They seek power by shaping the stories people believe about them, their surroundings, and even those they encounter. They craft carefully constructed identities, manipulate the truth, and dictate the perceptions others hold about them. For these individuals, control over perception
is power. By molding how others see them, they believe they can direct outcomes and maintain their influence. They play with stories, bending them to their will, using others as mere pieces in their game. But when they encounter you, their ability to shape the narrative crumbles. You, chosen one, do not allow anyone to define you. Your authenticity is a powerful force that challenges every false narrative they try to construct. You carry a truth within you that is so strong, so grounded in divine clarity, that no one can twist it or bend it to suit their needs. Where others are shaped by the stories others tell them, you are the storyteller of your own life. You are the author of your narrative, and nothing, not manipulation, not deception, can take that away from you. They may try to spin their tales, spreading rumors or casting shadows on your character, but the more they attempt to control how others perceive you, the more the truth of who you are shines through. You are not the version they wish you to be, the one they try to depict for their own gain. You are something far greater, and this authenticity exposes the falseness of their stories. When they try to manipulate the truth, they cannot control the light you carry, and that light reveals the cracks in their carefully constructed facades. This dynamic is unsettling for those who thrive on controlling perception. For them, your presence is a disruption. It's a reminder that the stories they tell about you and others are mere illusions. Your truth speaks louder than their words ever could, and it makes it impossible for them to continue weaving their tales. The more you stand in your own authentic power, the more their narrative falls apart. The illusion they've built is shattered in the face of your clarity. Chosen one, your energy does not need words to communicate your truth. It speaks louder than any false narrative ever could. You have reached a level of spiritual clarity that transcends the need for validation from others. Your energy radiates authenticity, and it is felt by those who encounter you. People can sense it in the way you carry yourself, the way you move through the world, and the way you interact with others. Your presence alone makes it clear that you are not who they want you to be. You are who you were always meant to be. Your authenticity cannot be ignored, and it contradicts every false story they try to create about you. They may try to paint a picture of you that fits their agenda, labeling you in ways that serve their own narrative, but your energy resists their manipulation. It's impossible for them to shape your story when you are grounded in your truth. The clearer you become in who you are and what you stand for, the more their attempts to control your image seem futile. They can try to twist your words, distort your actions, and frame you in a way that fits their agenda, but it won't work. The light of your authenticity outshines the shadows they try to cast. Your energy doesn't need validation from others to be real. It stands on its own, unwavering and unshakable. The people around you begin to see the contradiction between the false stories they hear and the undeniable truth they feel when they are in your presence. The more they try to manipulate the narrative, the more the authenticity of who you are shines through, revealing the hollowness of their claims. In this way, your energy becomes a mirror to the lies they've built. Where they want to manipulate others into believing their version of you, your truth cannot be hidden. Your clarity, your sense of self, becomes a silent defiance to the falsehoods they spread. And while they may still try to twist your story, your energy makes it impossible for their narrative to stick. It is a quiet, powerful force that speaks volumes in a way words never could. For those who rely on manipulating narratives, losing control of how people perceive you is a deeply unsettling experience. They thrive on the power of shaping others' beliefs, on being able to mold people's opinions to serve their own needs. But when they encounter someone who refuses to be molded, someone whose authenticity cannot be distorted, they begin to feel their control slipping away. Your refusal to conform to their narrative leaves them powerless. This frustration grows as they try harder to push their story onto you, but each attempt only highlights the futility of their efforts. They cannot change how others perceive you because they have no power over your truth. They may spread rumors, cast aspersions, or manipulate situations, but the more they do, the more the contrast between their false narrative and your authenticity becomes apparent. This only makes them feel more desperate, and as they fail to control the way others see you, their sense of power diminishes.
At first, they may not even fully realize why they are so frustrated. After all, they have always been able to control how people view others. But with you, they face something they have never encountered before, a person who is immune to their manipulation. And as time goes on, they begin to realize that this is the heart of their frustration. They have no control over your narrative. You are untouchable, not because you are untouchable in the physical sense, but because your truth, your energy, and your authenticity cannot be shaped or manipulated by them. Their confusion grows as they try harder and harder to cast their stories about you, but the truth remains standing firm, unshaken by their efforts. Your refusal to engage with their games only heightens their sense of defeat. The more they push, the more they see that their manipulation cannot touch you. They begin to realize that no matter what they do, you cannot be controlled, and that realization shakes them to their core. The power they thought they had over others, including you, is now slipping away, and they are left to reckon with the fact that they can no longer shape the narrative of your life. Chosen one, the power you carry is not just in your actions, but in the unshakable truth of who you are. You do not need to fight against the false narratives others try to build about you. Your energy, your authenticity, and your connection to divine truth are all the protection you need. No matter how much others try to manipulate the stories people believe, your light cannot be dimmed. It outshines every falsehood, revealing the truth of who you are and rendering their efforts to control you futile. Those who thrive on controlling the narrative may fight to maintain their influence, but they will soon realize that their attempts to manipulate you will never succeed. You are the author of your own story, and no one can rewrite it for you. Your energy, rooted in authenticity and clarity, speaks louder than any false narrative they try to create. And as they come to terms with their inability to shape your life, they will be forced to face the truth that their power over you, over anyone who lives in their truth, was always an illusion. Keep walking in your light, chosen one, for you are the living proof that no one can control your narrative but you. Chosen one, you have crossed a threshold that those who sought to manipulate you simply cannot follow. Your spiritual foundation is impenetrable, rooted deeply in the divine truth that guides your every step. Where they once believed they could disrupt your peace, undermine your strength, or pull you off course, they now find themselves helpless in the face of your unwavering power. The more they try, the more they feel the weight of their own inability to penetrate your energy. It's as though their efforts only reveal their own limitations, magnifying the truth of your strength.
Your growth, your spiritual ascent, and your alignment with your divine purpose cannot be stopped. Those who once tried to break you through manipulation, control, or deceit will find themselves exposed by your rise. Their illusions of power are dissolving in the face of your authenticity and strength. They cannot hold you back, for you are moving forward with divine momentum. Your rise is inevitable, chosen one. As you continue to walk in alignment with your purpose, nothing will be able to impede your path. Your light is too powerful, your truth too strong, and your connection to the divine too unwavering. You are stepping fully into your power, and nothing can hold you back from fulfilling the destiny that was always meant for you. Heavenly Father, thank you for the strength you have instilled in me. Thank you for making me resilient and for allowing me to walk in your divine power. I pray that I continue to move forward with confidence, grace, and peace, knowing that your light surrounds me and protects me. Help me stay true to your purpose and guide me through every challenge. In Jesus' name, amen.